here because I'm live on Facebook as well. Let me just put this here. If that's okay, just highlight. So if people don't want, for confidentiality, they don't see who is there, isn't it? We may hear the voice, but we may not know who is actually asking this question,
Yeah.
who is going through the challenges right now. Let me do this. Let's see, Sarah, I'm looking on to, okay. Perfect. I am going to do this. I'm not sure why it's giving you a speaker. It's not allowing me to. Can you see me? Can you see me at all? Can you hear me? I can't hear
We
you, Sarah.
can see you, we can hear you. We're mute. So we can
Okay.
see you. You are the speaker.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Can you see me now as well?
We can see you
Okay.
clear.
Perfect. Perfect. That's amazing. Great. So just to respond to that question, whoever is going through the challenging moments right now, you're going through some challenges, you're going through some difficulties, you're still in that situation, and you want to know what you could do. We don't need to know the specific challenges, but we could definitely say, I could confidently say, challenges come in many forms and many ways. And honestly, challenges most often we take a certain part or meaning or name, narrative based on our perception, who we are, how we respond or react in quote to that challenge, which is why two people will go through the same challenge. So I just want to tell the person, first of all, that you are not alone. You know, you are not alone in this situation. And I'm so happy and grateful that you can be vulnerable enough to express that situation with us right now. And you have acknowledged that you are going through this situation and you need help, which means you want to really come out of this, which means you definitely know that there is something better, there is a better way, and there is a better place to be rather than where you are right now. So I must say, congratulations is the very beginning. Awareness is the beginning of every transformational journey. And the fact that you are currently aware of, the fact that you are going through some challenging situation in your life and you want better, you want to come out of it. Congratulations. We're going to be with you. We're going to hold your hands and walk with you. We can also have one-to-one sessions. I'll be able to help you. So please, you can talk to Sarah as well later on. You can book that session where I can support you bespokely. So we are not like in a group and everybody's not really hearing everything. But what I want you to know, like I
Thank you,
was saying
sir.
before, is that challenges are unique. They are not really unique. They are what they are. If we look at certain challenges in life, the truth is people have gone through every challenge we will ever go through in life, and others will go through after us. There is no challenge in life that is so unique to me. Be it in your marriage, you're facing what? There is nothing. Name one challenge in a marriage that one woman has faced that some women have not faced prior to her, and that some women will not face after her. So what am I saying? Challenges are there in life. They've got no meaning attached to it until we give them meaning, which is why someone will go through a challenging situation. If you've heard me speak again and again, I've always said my greatest challenge in my life has been my greatest gift and blessing. It's transformed me in ways beyond my wildest imagination. I would never have been 100 who I am today without going through those challenges. In those moments where that challenging situation tough it was, believe me, I would have loved to be out of it. I did not have an understanding, clear understanding and picture of what that challenge was going to do to me. However, my perception about that challenge changed my whole understanding about the challenge. And my understanding determined how I interpreted that challenge and how I went on to respond and resolve that challenge. And eventually, like I said, it shaped me to be a better woman, a better leader, a better mom, a better wife, and a better role model to so many women globally. So, in other words, whatever you're going through, I just want you to pause. Pause right now. Step away from that challenge. Separate that challenge from you. Separate that situation from you. You are not your broken marriage. You are not the pain you're going through. You're not your depression. The depression is not even yours. Don't own things that are damaging and destructive. It's something that's come to invade your body. Just take a step back as if literally you're standing in front of a mountain, which is a challenge, a high mountain placed in front of you. You cannot seem to see beyond that mountain. You cannot seem to move forward, to progress, because that mountain is on your path. I want you to step back from that mountain. I want you to withdraw. I want you to go back, separate yourself from that challenge so you can see clearly. Too often, when we don't separate ourselves from the challenges, we are not objective. We cannot see clearly. We cannot see objectively. It's like I'm standing in front of that mirror or in front of that mountain that I said is in front of you. I can't see anything else. I can't see there is a path by the side of that mountain, by the right, by the left. I can't see that maybe there is something that I can take to enable me to climb the mountain and then go over it because I'm so focused on that mountain. And I want you to understand that where our focus goes, our energy flows, our energy goes. If you're focusing on a mountain, you cannot move the mountain, you cannot change that mountain. For some of us, you were never called to change that mountain. That mountain has its own purpose being where it is. That challenge has its own purpose to have an impact and influence in your life. You are not called to change it. It was called to shape you, prune you, and make you a better person. Think about gold going through fire. We can't take the fire off the pathway or the journey of gold becoming pure and refined. Gold needs that fire to take off all the impurities so it can become its highest form. It can become the pure, worthy, and magnificent gold. It can reveal its full essence. So that challenge, most probably, if God has allowed you to go through, He could have taken it away from you if we're going to destroy you. And the fact that you are here today speaking to us, you're still alive. And I say, well done, congratulations. That challenge or challenging situation has not killed you, has not damaged you. Yes, I understand you may be in pain, you may be depressed, you may be low. That's why you are here now, to help you take off some of that burden and to help you find a solution moving forward. So when you step back, like I said, you begin to look at other avenues, other options. So step back, pull yourself out of that challenge. What it is, I don't know. It might be in your marriage, it might be in your home, it might be with your status, it might be illness, health. The thing is, the more we think and we are negative, we are worrying, we are dwelling on the mountain or on something that we cannot solve. Because right now you cannot solve it, else you would have solved it and you would not be here. The more you dwell on that, what you cannot solve, you only create more problems for yourself. The more worried you are, the more anxious you become, and you begin to release cortisols, some hormones that are not good for your body. Your heart begins to be affected. You have palpitation, high blood pressure, and all of that. You begin to grow and become bitter, resentful. It affects your organs. So you're going to put more pressure on yourself, and you're going to cause more damage, both in your physical health and well-being, in your emotional and spiritual health and well-being as well, because you are allowing the things of this world, your current circumstance and challenge, to govern your mind, to dictate to your mind, to rule your mind. And we know our mind is so powerful. As we think in our mind, so we become. Our thoughts become our words. Our words eventually become our actions, and our actions, when we do again and again, it becomes habit and takes us to our destiny. However, when you stop framing that challenge, or using it to control and dictate who you are, who you've become, making you become that challenge, your situation, your circumstance, unfortunately, like I said, you're allowing your mind to be governed by the flesh, the challenges, and it will bring death. It will bring corruption to your mind. You will not think clearly. You will not think and see yourself the way God sees and thinks about you. However, you have to understand you are a higher power. We've got something far powerful within us as humans that cannot be touched by any physical challenge in the world. We are spiritual beings. Your spirit is higher than any physical, natural challenge you could ever go through on this planet. In fact, the physical could never affect the spiritual. So you have to allow the higher you, your higher self, the spiritual being in you to speak to your mind, to remind you of who you are, to remind you of the power you have over this situation and challenge. So this is the first thing I'm telling you right now. The problem is not solved, but you have the power to make yourself feel better. You have the power to start releasing a different kind of chemical in your mind based on the words you will speak, based on the thoughts you will think. And those chemicals, with or without your control, enable you to feel better. The feel-good hormone, which is actually endorphin. We also have serotonin. Right now, when you are anxious, you are worrying, you cannot solve the problem, you actually are so afraid, you release the opposite, cortisols. You release adrenaline. They make you anxious. They make you, you seem helpless. You are fearful. You want to run for your life. Your heart beats faster and all of that. You don't breathe quick. You breathe so fast, quickly. You don't have enough time to take in oxygen, which brings life to your entire body and allow your blood to circulate well and nourish your being and also your mind so you could think, better. However, now tapping, because you have that spiritual entity. I know some of you might say it's so difficult. It's not difficult, please. If you can worry, you can meditate. The only difference is worry is focusing on the problem. Meditating is focusing on the solution and the greater one in you. Meditation is taking your mind off the problem and focusing it in the greater, higher power within you, which is that spirit. And your spirit can only connect with spirit, not with the physical, like I said, and God is spirit. His divine purpose for your mind and what he has in store for you for that situation, his revelation about why you are going through that situation. So you may be calm, you may be hopeful. We only come when your spirit aligns with his spirit. Because spirit does not speak to flesh, it speaks to spirit. And the transactional point, the point of exchange where spiritual is transformed into a tangible physical reality, is in our mind. That is the battlefield. Whoever wins there wins in life because our mind dictates who we are or who we become. So if you are speaking out of fear, out of what you see, allowing the physical to govern your mind, to speak to your mind, unfortunately, you bring death to your entire being. Your mind will start thinking you're dead, you're gone, you're oppressed, you're not worthy, and all of that. However, right now and here, you can switch the coin. It's like going there, the light is there. All you need to do is turn it off and on. It's not difficult, believe me. Like I said, it's not us who is even doing the work. You just need to make the choice. I am ready to step away now from this problem and look at it differently. I'm ready to look within me, the power within me. It's like you step into a dark room. It's so easy. Some can say, oh, I'm in the dark. This person caused the dark. It's painful. I can't see. I'm stumbling. What will that serve you? You continue to stumble as you utter each word, talking about the darkness and worrying about the darkness, finding who caused the darkness. However, there's one thing you can do. There's a choice you can make. It takes very little time and effort. You simply turn on the light. You find a switch and turn on the light. You are not doing any work to bring light in that room which will overcome darkness because light is a higher force and power. It has the power to engulf darkness where darkness is present. It's exactly the same thing. I'm not asking you to do anything but to simply switch on your mind, to allow your mind to allow the light, the spiritual power, the higher power and force within you to take over. You begin to instantly get the benefit of the spiritual realm. Nothing, no physical weapon fashioned on this planet can attack or actually affect the spirit. Nothing. When we allow those negative things, those physical weapons to affect us, it is because we are disconnected from the spirit. It cannot have power and dominion over the spirit. It can never win. The only difference, we are cut off from the greater self, from the greater power, from our divinity, from our spirit, and hence from God. So we don't allow access. It's like if that switch is cut off from the source that provides electricity into my home, whatever I do, there will be darkness. Not because electricity doesn't have the power to fuel my home and bring light. No, but simply because there's a malfunction. My switch is not connected to the source of electricity to my home, so I cannot benefit from it. So that's exactly what is happening when we are struggling, we are suffering, when we go through physical challenges in life, because we are not connected to the higher self or higher power. So right now, as you step back, and I want you to say this simple prayer. Simple prayer. It's used a lot in personal development. They call it the serenity prayer. Lord, grant me the serenity. Serenity is peace, to accept the things I cannot change. Like I said, there is no point fighting what you and I cannot change, and we're never called to change. We will fight and get exhausted and get tired. That will add more burden to us. My problem, my challenge has not been solved. I'm going to fight other battles. So I come home tired at the end of the day, exhausted, weakened, defeated, and broken, in addition to my trials and troubles that I'm already carrying within me. So I have more load to carry by the end of the day. You need serenity and peace to accept the things you cannot change. And he will give revelation to you in depth about these things, why they're in your life. Maybe they want to bring out the patience in you. They want to bring a better dimension of who you are. They want to reveal a greater strength and power in you so you can help others who are going through those similar challenges or who will go through those similar challenges in the future after you have overcome it and gained the lessons from it. And the next part of the prayer says, Lord, after grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. You need courage to change the things that you can't. Nobody will change those things for you. You need courage to say, yes, I'm broken, I'm down. I'm not going to lie in this dark room where I cannot see and complain. I will do everything and anything in my part to reach out for the switch and turn on this light. I'm going to take the courage, even if I don't feel like walking, even if I have to pull myself on the ground, because I understand that once light steps into this dark room, I will be better. I will be able to see clearly and better and know what way to walk and where I can find help. And above all, we need the wisdom. Is this something you can change? If it's got to do with another human, beloved, it's easy. You can't change anybody. We don't change you. You change yourself. The words I speak are life. They are seeds. You allow them. You give me, Sarah, Voice of Nations, the opportunity to step into your mind. And then you begin to nurture these nourishing words that we speak that bring life. You make the decision to welcome our words and allow it to sow and allow it to grow, and you nurture and nourish it, because as you live, you think about them. I'm beautiful, I'm wonderful, I'm able to overcome this challenge. I'm a spiritual being having a natural experience on this planet. I've got a greater power that nothing on this earth can touch. So you take up the seeds that we are sowing with you. You bring the transformation. We are only vessels to enable or to facilitate this process of transformation. We cannot take the glory. So you want to actually now have that wisdom to know that, is this something I can change or something I cannot change? Like I said, we cannot change humans. If it's a man, an ex, a husband, a partner, you cannot change them. If it's an immigration case, you don't work in the immigration. You cannot literally go affect that person. They would even listen to you. If it's your health and well-being, yes, you have the power to make changes. Why you cannot? We know the power of faith. We know the power of prayer. We know the power of positive. You can start speaking life. You can start doing what you can do. If it's your mind, what can I do to improve this situation? So once we become aware, it's something I can change. Maybe not by myself, not alone. I need help. And we are here at Voice of Nations to walk that journey with you, to support you, to make that situation, better, and eventually to solve the problem so you can overcome the situation and you become a positive role model for many who will go through that situation in the future or who are going through that situation right now and have not yet overcome. So with this in mind, you're going to be willing to say yes. If it's something I can change, if it's your health and well-being, oh yes. Why you cannot physically take off that diagnosis? I've seen people healed from positive affirmation. I've seen people, as a medical professional, I'm not talking of something that's inspirational or that's without substance. They are proven research. I have witnessed it myself working in the hospital when we are actually building, creating or developing better therapeutic drugs or options. That's new drugs. My field was leukemia. We've got people who've come to the lab with leukemia. It's a type of blood cancer. They have every marker in their blood that, hey, you've got leukemia. This is a marker of leukemia. This is a flag of leukemia in your blood. You need therapy, you need medications. Those people have come into the clinic. Before you put a new drug out there that you have just discovered in the laboratory, we need to do clinical trial. So to test the drug, does it really work in humans? Because we do all the research, remember, in the lab. Even though we can use human blood and human cells, we now have to go put it in the human body, which has a lot of machinery working at different pace and at different times. So what I see in vitro in the lab may not necessarily be what I see in vivo in a live human system, because there are other factors that come into play. So before we get out there, we do this clinical trial. We've had people come into the lab. We've given them, literally, think about a candy, think about glucose, think about something with no medicinal value. I'm not giving you a drug, but we make you believe you are taking the best drug that was actually discovered to cure leukemia. You take that drug going home, it's not a drug. Doctors have not given you, and because you trust the people talking to you, you trust the medical professionals, the hematologists who are speaking to you, your doctor, you go home taking this candies, water, will tell you take it 3 times a day for this and this amount of time. People have taken things that are not medications, come back to the lab. Believe me, we go do a test. Their blood no longer has the markers for leukemia, which means the markers are gone. They have been cured. Do we give them drugs? No. We made them to believe there is the power in the mind. Our mind is so powerful, as we think, so we become. There's been a case where a little boy has conquered leukemia by simply putting on a video game, him believing that he's killing those cells with his, I think, arrow or whatever. And each time he's like, oh, mommy, I conquered, I defeated. Our mind is powerful. Like I said, words are life or death. When we speak words that are life, that are powerful, that are edifying, they have the power to create new neuronal pathways. They create new pathways where your neurons transmit some new chemicals that can conquer and defeat whatever illness you have in your body. This is scientific evidence. This is not motivation or inspiration. It is backed and shown by science and research. So as you start speaking positively, which is what you can do straight on, the power of affirmation. Affirmation is like calling the things that are not now in your reality as if they were, and they become a reality. You are going through defeat now, you are depressed, start saying things like, I am sound, I am passionate, I'm living, I'm going to conquer, I am beautiful. Maybe you think you're not beautiful. I'm beautiful, I'm worthy, I'm intelligent, I am valuable, I am going to add value to my world, I'm already adding value, I'm conquering this illness, I'm conquering this situation, I've got what it takes. I deserve to be treated with respect, I'll respect myself, I love myself just as I am, as I work on myself, becoming the best version of myself. Right now, I embrace myself for who I am. I love myself for who I am. I nourish and nurture myself with love. Believe me, as you keep saying that, you begin to form without even being aware. Your mind goes and signals. That's the same thing when you become afraid. You start thinking, I'm depressed, you are fearful. Your mind signals the release of chemicals in your body that makes you depressed, that makes you low, that makes you anxious. The same way when you speak the opposite, your mind releases its signals, the release of chemicals that make you feel good, that make you actually experience love, acceptance, which is called oxytocin, the love hormone. Serotonin, endorphin, the feel-good hormone. And endorphin is also the hormone against pain. You may be feeling pain from the situation, from the betrayer, but as you speak these words, without you knowing, your mind has gone and your mind is transformed from a higher power, because words are spirit. You can't hold my words and catch them and keep them, decorate them. As I speak, though they are life and have the power to bring life, make you feel better, make you feel edified and empowered, you can't hold them. This is spirit. So this is accessing the spiritual realm in a way, even though it's through the words. As you speak them, they begin to transform your mind. They begin to change the way your mind is formed. The morphological states, morphological, I mean the physical, even the structures are transformed because new pathways are created, new neurons are created that will release chemicals that will make you feel better, even though the situation is not solved yet. Think about children, how many problems they have, but they're always smiling and running because they don't worry. They don't worry. A child may be hungry, highest thing they cry, but they are crying knowing that mom will give me food. Mom doesn't give them food, they cry even louder because they don't have the things going through their mind. It's not negative, it's not depressive. So all the chemicals, and immediately after that, you bring the food of a child. You can even see a child with tears coming down their eyes. They are laughing and kicking and smiling. Thank you, mommy. They are still, the tears is finishing. Do you see how quick these hormones are? Do you see how powerful it is? Because the child has not been trained like us. Their natural essence is who they are, the spiritual essence in them, the spiritual being in them. They see themselves to the pure. All things are pure. Children are purer than us. That's why children can be easily, manipulated. They are vulnerable because they see everyone as being kind. Everyone that sends out their hand to them, they go to them knowing that it's love because they are naturally pure, and consistently their hormones, while they are in that moment, need a problem. Even though it's not soft, mom is going to buy it. They start saying, thank you, mommy. They are smiling. We have that same power. Cortisols are so immediate. They break down immediately. The moment you're struggling, you're in pain, cortisols and all those hormones that make us feel low, depressed, anxious, they are released instantly. If you start laughing, they break down quickly. Some are reabsorbed because they are not meant to be in your system. They come for a purpose, to fight and conquer a battle so you can survive, or to make you run away when you are afraid. You run away from people, you run away from the situation so that you may survive. The sole goal of these hormones is survival. But life goes beyond survivor. Once you've run away and survived, you've got to face tomorrow. What are you going to do? The only higher way to actually affect your physical state of being while waiting for resolution is to come from that spiritual realm. Affirm, speak life, call for the things that are not as if they were. It's not like you are lying. No. You know that, yes, this is what it is physically, but I have the power to change the way I see it, to change the story I'm going to tell about it, to change how I allow it to affect me and my way of thinking and my mood. Because you decide to turn on the light in you. You decide to rely on a higher source and power. For me, that's God. And just let him carry this battle because you're like, this battle is so heavy for me to carry. I'm not going to carry it. So once you've done that now, and in that space of stepping back, so I've given you a few step back, don't see it as you separate yourself from that situation. Can you change the situation? If yes, let's go. We start by calling words first, affirming. If not, then just start looking for ways to become serenity, to become serene. I cannot change you. I'm going to focus on myself, grow myself more, become more positive, meet people who edify me, have companions that will make me feel in quote better when I'm with them so that I can be stronger emotionally, psychologically, and I can go through this storm without breaking or allowing it to break me. And once we do that, we now change our perception. I want you to change your perception. Like I said, honestly, no two challenges will be encountered in the same way by two different people. Absolutely no. We cannot blame the challenge for why we are the way we are, why we think the way we are, why we are knocked down. We've got people, two the same people, fired from a job. One has taken it like, wow, finally. I've always been fearful to start my own business, but you know what? Now I don't have a job. I have nothing to lose. I'm just going to go out there and start. Some say, oh, this is a blessing in disguise. I've been waiting to leave that job. I've been so afraid. Maybe some people will be like, you are the one who left your job if you don't find another job, but you have been dying in that job. You know that you did not want to be there. You were only there because of fear, lack of security. Now that you've been fired, thank God. Another person is like the world has come to an end. They are depressed and low. My job has been taken away. And they say you cannot understand. No, no. The situation has no meaning attached to it, but the meaning we give to it. We decide to respond to it. Pressures don't come to create something new in us, make us become bitter. No. If we are bitter, bitterness has already been within us, trapped in a different form. Energy is never created nor destroyed. Emotion is energy that's in motion. It's moving because it wants to be released. Anger wants to be released. Don't suppress it. Channel it for a positive good. People can be angry and do something great. Because of that anger, I'm not going to stay here anymore. I'm going to use it to impact lives. Emotion is energy in motion. It wants to be released. Energy is never created nor destroyed. So if you're feeling bitter, resentful now, that resentment was once stored in another form. Like I said, energy is not created. So what you're feeling now has not been created because of what you're going through. It's been transformed from the state that was dormant initially because of this pressure. It's like you've always had Coca-Cola within you but you didn't know who you are. You were dark within. Black, the pressures of life forced you to pour out the darkness, the coke within you. All true because you've been amongst water, you thought you were like them. Maybe your physical container was like a similar water bottle around you. But you never knew because you spend your life focusing on the external challenges, blaming people, looking for who to blame, who caused this situation, this, that, and that. This pressure now has forced you to see that within you is dark content. Pressures reveal, they don't create something new. They reveal what is within us. So this is your moment to realize that within you has always been stored this. And it's an opportunity. Do I want this back in me? No. So what can I do? You have the opportunity now because you've poured out what was within you, the emptiness, the void, the bitterness, the anger, the depression. Just want destiny leave now. You have the opportunity now to actually transform your life. You have the opportunity now. Let me see if this is being recorded. I'm not sure. It's unfortunate. It looks like I've not recorded it. Sarah, are you recording, darling? Are you recording? You're muted. We have the opportunity now to
No.
change
Oh,
and bring forth that which we want in our life. And are you going to make that choice? Are you going to make that decision? The decision is yours. What's the time, please? I can't see the time.
7 to 1.
7 to 1, we have 7 more minutes. So I will pause here. There are so many other strategies I may give you, but as you change your perception is so important because our perception will create our reality. The way you see a situation, understand it, interpret it, will determine the way you respond. When you start seeing that person now like, okay, they have their problems, I'm not the problem. They are speaking what is within them. All the abuse, if it's an abusive relationship, they're speaking to me, it's not who I am. They are channeling forward what is within them. They have problems with their side, it's not me. Two people can look at the same place and one cannot see the A written on the board because they have problems seeing clearly. Am I right? Someone who needs lenses, A may be written on the wall and they say, I can't see it. What is written here? We might be reading the same sheet of paper. If you give me small letters now with Sarah, I bet I will struggle to see those words, but Sarah will see them clearly. So that's me. I'm projecting what I see. It's not necessarily what is there. You don't see an A because you don't see clearly. They don't see you clearly. If they're abusing you and saying you are this, you are that, and that, that's not who you are. You need to be confident in who you are. That's why you have to be self-aware. You have to become aware. Yes, you're going through this problem right now. If you had the chance, wish you had the chance, what would you rather go through in this moment? I'm asking you. What would you love to experience in this moment? Because you know what? Where there is hope, there is a way. You need to hope for something better. And then you'll be intrinsically driven, which means motivated. There will be a powerful internal drive within you beyond your control, beyond any physical force that will keep pushing you forward to keep acting, to go to that place that you prefer to be, to get that solution that you prefer to get, rather than the pain you're going through right now. What would you rather have in this solution, in this situation? What's the ideal? If you had a magic wand, for example, that you could speak and what you need in your life become now a reality, what would that be? What would it look like? What would it feel like? How would you feel when you experience that? And let's go to work, start changing your perception. This is my opportunity. And then you focus on that solution. Like I said, right now, your problem is you're focusing on that mountain. You cannot move the mountain there. You don't have what it takes. You don't have the power, the strength, the resources, the knowledge that it takes to move that mountain. In fact, in some cases, you are not called to move that mountain. You are not called to change that human being in front of you. So now you need to focus on what you can do. Focus creates a greater force and power within us and makes the work lighter. When you focus, think about it. Every single day you can be out there and the sun is shining on you. It doesn't burn you. It doesn't burn the sheet of paper that you put there on the sun. Do you know that if we take a magnifying glass, we focus the sun rays, we collect the sun rays that are dispersed all over. Hence, their force is weak, their strength is weak because they are dispersed. Some of them are reflected, some of them are absorbed as they are coming down on the earth. If you get a magnifying glass and collect the rays, allow them to focus, do you know that that same ray that has been there, those same rays of light from the sunlight that have been there like forever, didn't burn you, didn't burn a sheet of paper. Do you know it has the power to burn your hand or set a sheet of a sheet of paper on fire? That's the power of focus. With focus, you don't need much energy. That's why people who are so focused, people ask me, you do a lot, Dr. Sylvia. How do you do this? It's not like I do massively. I am super focused. My purpose is clear. My vision is clear. That which I have to do is so clear. So my energy is concentrated. Hence, I produce greater results because I'm empowered. I am super driven. Focus on solutions. Focus on results. Focus on what you can do. And you find yourself being empowered, being energized, the burden becomes lower. Because, for example, that sheet of paper, you don't need to go find fire, matches, and whatever to light it. The same rays, the same place you've been, the same energy has been present all through, but it was dispersed all over the place. You were having your energy all over the place on things you cannot solve. So you go back at night, you are drained. You have no energy. You are low. You are depressed. And you feel like you are sapped of energy. You can't go on. You can't move on because you don't have the energy to move on the next day. However, when you focus on the solution, you are empowered and energized, and you can move on with power that you is beyond your widest imagination. I will end there for now. If you want to ask any question, I'm aware of time. Maybe we'll continue with this next week. What do you think, Sarah?
Yes, I think so. I think so.
Perfect.
Okay. Do you have any question?
No,
Any question for me, please?
Yeah, I learned that the more challenges you face, the more stronger woman you become. You don't have to let your challenges to take you down. You have to be strong enough to be bold to face challenges. You just have to ask God to give you strength to change whatever you can change, but whatever you can't change, just ask God to give you strength to do that.
Amazing, amazing. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And let's just go apply this practical knowledge, being aware that challenges, like you said, don't come to break us, to make us better. So when you are actually in front of a challenging situation right now, I want you to be excited. I want you to be hopeful, because the truth is, after you go through that challenge, you only become better. You can only become better. It's one way and never another way. Forward, upwards, onward, always, and never backwards. So let's embrace it and seek for help when you can seek for help. We are here to support you. We are here to hold your hands and walk through this incredible journey with you, through this challenging situation with you. So the burden is lighter, the weight is lighter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doc.
You are very welcome. You're most welcome. God bless you. Sending you lots of love. Can I leave now?
Thank
Or
That's amazing. Today is
did you
like
want
you
to
are
add
looking
something,
at the
Sarah?
time.
Yeah.
So what? Do you hear?
Do you want to add
Can you
anything?
hear?
I can hear you very well.
No, I said that's amazing. It looks like you are looking at the time. So it looks
Oh,
really on time.
wonderful, wonderful. Perfect.
No,
All
what I
right then.
want to say, thank you very much. And I want to add something about the conference yesterday too. That was amazing, amazing. The platform, and then just so many people. We had people that they were just saying because of the connection, so many things was happening to them. And what I noticed that there are more people were using the phone. Sometimes when we have more people on Zoom, some phone they can't really stay with, because when you are having a lot of people on the thing, so the capacity is really difficult. That's the reason we couldn't get some other people. So for me, I was thinking as you said about the WhatsApp, when we make it, if we can also send the link on YouTube. So the link, because so many
Yeah.
people have asked for that. I've sent to Liz because she came back and then wrote if she could have get that. So we can send that to them so they can have it. Unmute yourself.
Thank you so very much, Sarah. Thank you for that feedback. Certainly, please, let's share the link today as well to those who could not join us. And this is actually now taken into consideration. So for future conferences, we're going to do that. Thank you, and sending you lots and lots of love and God's blessings. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy
Thank
yourself.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Have a
you.
lovely day.
You too, darling.